What's up, guys, and welcome back to the doctor's office. I am Dr. K. Knight, here to give you a proper diagnosis and prognosis and everything comics and comic book characters. Absolute Universe has given us Absolute Wonder Woman. Let me tell you, this one I do like. Wonder Woman is not one of my favorite characters, but this story, chef's kiss. So, we have, there's like a thing floating around in Gate City, floating over the city, like over the water. And there's like a news report going on about it. And there is like these things called harbingers start coming out of them, or coming out of it and attacking people. And while it is attacking the people, there is a warrior on a like dead skeleton horse that comes flying in, taking out some of the harbingers, and she uses the blood to wipe on her face, and it is revealed to be Wonder Woman, and she is sprouting a very, very brand new look. She looks fabulous, okay? But we get into the story, her background. So Circe is the Witch of the Wild Isle in hell, and she's over there minding her business. While she's minding her business, Apollo shows up, and he's like, "You may kneel." And she was like, "I'm fine, thanks." And he's like, just as defiant as ever, even in hell. And she's like, "You know, I like to keep my strengths. I like to work on those." And he's like, "All right, cool. This is yours. And it's a baby." She's like, "This is a baby." And he's like, "Yeah, it is. Why the fuck is the baby in hell?" Like, very valid question, Circe. Thank you for asking that. And he's like, "Well, this is Diana of Themyscira. She's the princess of Themyscira, and she was taken by Zeus from the Amazons as punishment for what the crimes that they committed against the gods." And she's reiterating, "This is hell. Like, what the fuck happens if it dies?" He's like, "The gods don't care. If it dies, it dies." Like, oh, okay. And he's like, "Oh, also, by the way, the word Amazon is banned." So he bans the word, and he's like, "Say it for me." But it's not coming through. So he has banned the word Amazon. So whenever she starts growing up, she does not know this word. Mainly because Circe can't say it. So Circe does, like, you know, she takes the baby there and she's like, "I don't know what the fuck to do with this." And there's a snake that is crawling up that looks like it's about to eat the baby. And she grabs it and throws it, kind of like a Hercules moment. And Circe is like, well, maybe you will survive after all. So, of course, Circe does start to raise her, starts to teach her magic, starts to teach her fighting skills. She's fighting against all kinds of beasts, taking control of the beasts that are there. She's like, "Mom, are you cool?" She's like, "I don't know." And then when she's old enough, they start having the conversation about this word. And she's like, "I'm scared." And she's like, "You know, you're my kid. You're not scared of a lot of things." She's like, "But I am afraid." And she's like, "How can I know a word without having heard it?" She said, "All you have to do is read it from this and say it out loud, because that is what you are." Now, I do commend Circe for this, because Circe could have just been like, "You know, you're my kid, you're a witch, I don't give a fuck." Like, she could have left all of that alone, but that would only cause trouble in the future when they figure out later that that is Diana and that she is an Amazon and she is princess of Themyscira, and it would be an issue. So, and Circe's just like, there's no point in creating that issue when I can just tell her what she is right now, and she can be both. She can be my daughter as well as being the princess of Themyscira. I raised her. Not like you had a choice, but, you know, she knows who raised her. But while also knowing who raised her, she also gets to learn the history of where she came from and how the fuck she got here. So I definitely 100% commend Circe on that, because she did not have to do any of those things. So she gets Diana to, you know, learn that word. While they, back in, you know, present day, the thing that is floating bursts into a giant harbinger dragon thing with laser eyes, and she is fighting it. Her little dead winged thing is called Pegasus. So she sends Pegasus to go assist. She's helping the military. She's like, where is your leader? And they aren't saying anything, and she's like, go get your army. And they're like, oh, well, they're all dead. She's like, no, they're not. And she, at the end of it, she's just like, please just run, go. And that thing comes up, and she's fighting it by herself. It has laser eyes, and she even comments on the fact that every time something happens, it's the damn laser eyes, every time. So it then awakens the other harbingers to attack, and she's getting beat up because she's getting jumped. Like, she's by herself. She is casting her magics. She's doing her spells and stuff like that. So, but she is still by herself. And so when she gets thrown into a rock, she's flashing back to when her mother had her say the word, and she ends up saying the word Amazon. It's not banned from her mouth. It was banned from Circe. But, Circe found a way around that. So she is able to, rise up. She starts fucking floating. She pulls out that lasso, and it's like, oh, we're gonna keep hurting you if you insist on getting up. She's like, I insist. And she says, I am Diana, princess of Themyscira, daughter of Circe, witch of the Wild Isle, and you will not harm this world while I still draw breath. To be continued. Oh my god. So this one I definitely loved. This one was such a twist on her, and it really fits. Like, this background really fits her. I could really see her being raised by Circe. And like, with how this story goes, I hope that there is at some point a time where, like, maybe she does meet the other Amazons. She's the last, because she does say in her speech that she is the last of the Amazons. So it's like Diana, princess of Themyscira, last of the Amazons, daughter of Circe, witch of the Wild Isle. Her whole label, like a pimp named Slipback, right? So I hope at some point that if she comes across somebody who wants to question who her family is, that she's like, Circe's my mom. Because she is. Circe raised her. Her adoptive mother, her mother, right? Circe raised her. So this story, I really did like this story. The art looks fabulous. Her design is phenomenal. I love that. And she looks so different being raised elsewhere. So I do like her design. I like that you're able to tell the difference between Diana raised on Themyscira, Diana raised in hell. Her lasso being red, Pegasus being her animal. Like, love it all. Now, how is she going to interact with the other gods? I'm also interested in seeing, because I just know that that's not going to be great. But I am very interested in seeing how, if they decide to form some kind of league, how they're going to, how she's going to interact with Superman and Batman and the others. So that is it for this episode of The Doctor's Office, and I will see you guys at your next checkup.